right, let's get a check of that forecast now. Dillon, take it away.
Yeah, thank you. It is a cold morning out there. Temperatures into the low 30s, 32 in Lexington, 32 in Somerset as well, 34 into Jackson. Now, we do have some clouds out there right now, but the good news is most of the precipitation today is going to be sticking well to our north. But then our attention, again, heading into your Friday night, we do have some stronger storms in the forecast, very similar to what we saw Sunday night into Monday. For the rest of your day today, though, afternoon sunshine on the way, temperatures back into the mid-50s. And then here's a look at our storm outlook for Friday into Friday night and eventually into Saturday morning. We are in a level 2 risk or slight risk for severe weather damaging wind gusts. Going to be a threat, could also see some torrential downpours, and then a tornado threat as well. We'll be breaking it all down for you in your full forecast.
Thanks, Dillon. Across Kentucky, coronavirus numbers continue to surge. The state reporting 70 new deaths on Wednesday, including a 16-year-old. The state says they saw more than 3,000 new COVID cases, nearly 800 of which in children. The positivity rate now at 9.14%. Furthermore, Lexington is reporting the most COVID-19 cases it's seen in a single day in more than 2 months. According to the health department, 172 new cases were reported on Tuesday. A U.S. congressman from Kentucky has tested positive for the coronavirus. Brett Guthrie represents the state's 2nd congressional district, including Danville. Guthrie says he took a COVID-19 test out of an abundance of caution, and the congressman says he's fully vaccinated and is only experiencing mild symptoms. And during an exclusive interview yesterday, Governor Beshear told ABC 36's Tom Kenny he thinks the state's death toll would be lower had the legislature not taken away some of its authority to deal with the pandemic.
I believe that we have seen more spread of COVID-19 than we would have had I continued to have the authority, say, for masking in schools. It's been very clear within schools that have universal masking, there have been less spread in the community, that the kids have stayed in school longer. Now, on the overall death toll, we have better therapeutics now. We're better at treating it. But certainly, I think that having every tool in the toolbox and having it at a place where the individual has the courage to actually make the tough decision better protects us during COVID.
The Republican-controlled legislature curbed the governor's authority on issues executive orders dealing with the pandemic. The state Supreme Court upheld the legislative action. Elsewhere in that interview, we talked to the governor about gambling in Kentucky. Kentucky has been losing money to states where sports betting is legal, which is why the governor says it's time to get in the game. But it must be done responsibly. He echoed a similar sentiment from another hot-button issue as well.
When you're watching the NFL games, they're even advertising for it now on it. We are simply behind. This is the way the world is going. And let me add, while we're at it, we also need to legalize medicinal marijuana. We are, again, behind other states. There are certain individuals that it can provide some real relief to. Certainly, we don't want to see more opioid prescriptions out there. And again, it's where the world's going. It's time we move there too.
Beshear thinks both will pass if the measures make it to the floor of the House and Senate. But he knows that may not happen. He says the public wants both legalized. Coming up, Woodford Humane Holidays Adoption Drive is well underway. We have details on how you can give a lovable pet a forever home after the break. Keep it right here. The adoption drive is back at Woodford Humane, and once again, Quantal Subaru is picking up the tab. Joining us with the details is Marketing Director Beth Olson. Welcome back.
Hi.
And who do we have here?
It's always good to be here. This is Chili. I like a pepper. He is about 8 weeks old, and he's just one of many, many pets that we have looking for homes right now.
How old is he?
About 8 weeks, so definitely still a baby.
Okay, well, let's find out a little bit more about this event. He's going to be part of it, right?
Yes, yep,
okay.
He sure is.
Wonderful. So first question I have for you. So you can adopt this pet for free, right? And now Woodford Humane, but only for a limited time. So tell us about the adoption drive. What's going on with that right now?
Yeah, so basically how this works is that Quantrell Subaru has said they will pay for every single adoption that happens during this event. So it runs through the 19th, which is not this coming Sunday, but the Sunday after. And during that time, adopters don't have any adoption fees to take a pet home. So it's a win for adopters, it's a win for the animals, and we are just so grateful to Quantrell Subaru for making it possible.
Now we know this sweet little fur baby is going to be part of it, but what other animals can we expect?
So all animals in the shelter are part of the program. We have right now just cats and dogs and kittens and puppies, but in the past years we've also had rabbits and guinea pigs and other small critters. So if any of those come in during this period, they'll be included also.
Is it as simple as walking in the door and picking up a dog and leaving with it?
It's not. We do have a screening process. It's the same screening process that we would have any other day of the year. Anytime someone hears free adoption fees, there's two reactions. There's either the person who's like, oh, yay, or the person who's like, well, that's going to end up in a lot of bad homes. But we are very careful about screening adopters, and honestly, we are probably stricter with our screening during this 2-week period than we are any other time of the year. So an application is required to take a pet home, and we just ask that everyone be kind of patient with us while we get through those applications, since it has been pretty busy.
Now here's my question for you. I've always wanted an animal. I haven't never had the time to really get one, but I might this year. So if I'm looking for something specific, then is there going to be someone to help me out, find what I'm looking for?
Yeah, so we ask that people call during these 2-week period instead of emailing or sending a message on social media, just because it's all hands on deck right now and we just can't keep up with all the messages. So the best thing to do if you're looking for something specific is to just give us a call and say, hey, do you have, labs or whatever it is that you're looking for, and we'll be happy to tell you that.
How important do you think it is that these animals are adopted during the Christmas season?
Well, it's really, it makes for really special holiday memories for families. A lot of the adoptions this time of year are parents who have been talking about it and they know their kid wants a pet, and this is just that extra little push to say, okay, it's time. So we're delighted to be sending these animals home this time of year with the knowledge that it's not just for this time of year. It's a good match and it's a lifelong commitment.
My last question for you, what age group would Chili be good for?
Chili would be good for literally anybody. He's such a sweet little guy. Kittens are pretty easy, as far as getting along with everyone. So he can learn to love just about anyone.
Oh, well, I hope we can find him a home this year. It was so great to meet you today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Hey, welcome back. Crystal and Christmas, a hip-hop story, tells the beautiful story of Jesus' birth from Mary's perspective to help make it feel more personal. Joining us with the details is writer and performer Crystal Love. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about the show here. What can you tell us about Crystal and Christmas?
Well, it's like you said, it's just telling the beautiful story of Christmas. And one of the things that I was really trying to do is to show the humanity in Mary. I think a lot of times we hear the details of Christmas and we skip over how Mary might have felt, how Mary and Joseph might have had some conflict there because he didn't believe her at first. And so my goal was to make sure that I just put some light on the humanity of Christmas.
So who wrote the production? Are you responsible for that too?
I did. I wrote the music first, and then after I wrote the music, I wrote the play behind it. So yeah, I wrote all of it, and it's super exciting to see it all come to life.
What was your inspiration for writing this musical?
I was in Christmas plays all throughout my childhood. My mom used to write Christmas plays for me at church, not for me, but for the church. And so as I get older and I have children of my own, I want them to have the same kind of experiences that I had when I was growing up. And so that was really my inspiration in writing the production, just to create those memories for my kids and kids all over, just about Christmas.
And what should audience members be expecting from you?
They should be expecting to have a blast. It's funny, it's heartwarming, and there's really good music. And so they should be expecting just to have a family fun night that's just full of fun and love and hope.
Now, the proceeds will be given to the Lexington Police Activities Lead. Why did you choose this organization?
Good question. So the PAL is what I know them as. They do a lot of work in the community, and I think that over the past couple of years there's been a really, really rough relationship between police and the community. And I have a really, really great friend. His name is Sergeant Rasan Berry, and he does so much in the community, and we just wanted to bridge a gap and create just an avenue of hope for the city of Lexington, along with the police and the community. So
Now the golden question, where and when will this event be held?
Yes, it's going to be at the Charles Young Community Center on Saturday at 6 p.m. So it's coming up soon. Get your tickets.
All right, well, there the details are up on the screen. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Sounds like a blast.
I'm so excited. So thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.
Hey, welcome to the show this morning.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here.
So let's talk a little bit about this. Please give us an overview of Sunrise and services it provides.
Yeah, so as an agency, our main goal is to support the community, to support the kids across the state and support families. Our goal is to reflect the love that's been shown to us and making sure that we, through our foster care, through adoption, through residential children's homes and family services, to provide care for the community through the whole heart and continue to show love and compassion in the way that it's been shown to us through Christ.
Now, you were a Sunrise kid yourself. What can you tell us about your journey?
Yes, so life has come full circle. 20 years ago, when you talk about the kids that we serve who maybe have a past of abuse and neglection, I am a living representation of what Sunrise Children's Services does and who we are as an agency. And so despite my past, despite the things that I've been through, we at Sunrise are firm believers in restoration and redemption and providing hope for our community and hope for our kids. And so as a child of a product of the state, but a product of Sunrise Children's Services, I now have the opportunity to give my life away to the kids every day and to also support our community.
I was saying earlier, what a wonderful mentor you sound like for these kids. I bet you can really relate to them, huh?
Yes, I really can. It's unique to be able to speak and to encourage them because there are moments where the kids say, I feel like I'm alone. And sometimes you just need a pat on the back or a shoulder to cry on or a hand to hold to say, hey, you're not alone. And not only are you not alone because I'm here with you, but I've actually walked in the steps that you are stepping in. And I can tell you there's hope on the other side.
So speaking of help and hope, how can our viewers support Sunrise's mission? Yeah,
so there's lots of ways that you can do that. You can visit our website at www.sunrise.org. Of course, any prayers, any thoughts, those types of things. And there's uniquely about Sunrise, we are a statewide agency. And so regardless of where you're at, we do have campuses that you can visit. If you're interested in fostering or adoption, you can join us as well. And there's always anywhere from canned food drives, anywhere to clothes donations or toys, practically anything that you have at home, we use as well. And so whether it's in our residential facilities or also within our foster homes.
What a great thing to do during Christmas, too. It's really something. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Now let's get to your GDK talkers. Google has reached its year of search list for 2021. In 2020, coronavirus predictably topped the trending search list globally and dominated much of the U.S. list. This year, the top trending global searches focused on sports. Oh, something interesting for you, Dillon, huh? With sports searches making up to 8 of the top 10.
World Cup cricket matches ruled the list. The NBA ranked number 4 and topped the U.S. The late rapper DMX and Korean Netflix show Squid Game also made the list globally and the U.S. list. In the U.S., politics and finance also made the top 10. So you get a pretty much a wide variety of everything.
Oh, Squid Games too. That was a crazy, crazy show.
Yeah, absolutely. Squid Game, and then it's interesting that cricket, it just shows cricket not really as popular here in the U.S., but across the globe, it's one of the most popular sports in the world, surprisingly.
Well, think about how we play football too.
Yes.
I mean, football really isn't. It's called soccer.
Yeah.
Well, we call what they call football in England. We call soccer.
Yeah, absolutely. And then outside of the United States, really, no one else watches American football. So. Yeah, cricket. We need more cricket players here in the U.S. That's what we're saying.
Let's tell the American colleges, bring more cricket.
That's right.
Well, they included the Georgia Senate race, which decided control of the Senate and the government stimulus payments.
Absolutely. The mad food and beverage scientists have been busy. Oreo and Barefoot Wine have teamed up for quite a concoction, a cookie wine.
Ooh, that sounds really good. The small batch of wine is called Barefoot Oreo Bin's Red Blend Wine. Huh. I wonder how that tastes.
That's a good question. Barefoot always comes up with these weird ones, but having Oreo is very interesting. My mom loves barefoot wine and Oreos, so maybe this is a Christmas gift for her.
You know, it doesn't really shock me because if you look at all the different versions of Oreos that you can possibly think of, didn't they have like a really like odd like chili one at one point?
They
Like
always
chili
have
Oreos?
just crazy Oreo flavors.
Like, how do you think about this, right?
Yeah.
Now, the companies say it includes flavors of chocolate and cookies and cream and notes of oak.
It's available starting Thursday at barefootwine.com/Oreo Thins until supplies run out. It costs $24.99 for 2 750 milliliter bottles and 1 package of thin Oreos. That's pretty cool. You get the whole combination with it. That's actually a great Christmas gift.
But what would you like drink that with? You know what I mean? Like how
The
you pair
Oreos.
things. I mean, I guess, but
And I think if you have like all those Christmas cookies that you could have, you know, sitting by the fire on maybe watching some Hallmark Christmas movies, Oreo flavored wine is probably pretty high up on that list.
the official color of 2022 is called Very Perry, a dynamic periwinkle blue with a violet red undertone. You'll start seeing it in a range of Microsoft apps like PowerPoint, Teams, Windows, and indigenous screensavers. That's pretty cool.
Since the year 2000, Pantone's team have design experts study trends in art and fashion to select a color that highlights top global trends. Very Perry is a color that symbolizes the future with a nod towards innovation and change. That's
like,
very interesting.
Yeah, looks like a color you would wear at Keeneland next time, personally.
Yeah, maybe the tie, or
Yeah, that
that'd
would
be
look
very
nice.
exciting. Yeah, or even a jacket. A jacket that color would be pretty awesome, like a sports jacket or even a suit.
Well, after the sports jacket you wore last year, I mean,
Yeah.
that was bold. This
That
is
was
even
a light
bolder.
blue. Maybe I think light blue was a couple years ago. So now I got to get with the fashion trends and get that nice purple-ish color. I mean, maybe include that in some weather forecasts too. You know.
Go into a department store. I would like the Very Perry. They'll just look at you
Yeah.
like, what are you talking about?
Well, the experts, you know, they pick those colors because that draws people's eye now more than ever. So
It does for sure.
maybe I need to get some of that color clothing.
We'll go shopping for like
Yeah,
Christmas before.
absolutely. I need to get that tie for sure. At least the color tie.
We will look far and wide for it. I'm sure Fayette Mall has something for it.
Yes.
Now get this, it's also a welcome departure from para-pandemic year 2021, which featured a considerably more drab ultimate gray.
Yeah, it's definitely been a big change up. It's crazy that last year was gray, considering how gray and gloomy 2020 was. So to come back with a little hint of purple, that is pretty great as well.
A little bit on the lighter side.